80% of the children in this school speak 2 languages fluently, and they go from Cambodian to Tagalog, from the Philippines, all sorts of languages from all the different countries. All the photos aren't actually up, but a fair smattering are. So that just gives you an idea there of where the children are from. We have 3 teacher aides trained in Ella as English language learning assistants, which is a huge help. One of them was our darling Mona Gillimack. She came over with her husband, and she actually is a fully qualified industrial psychologist and lawyer. So she was the highest trained person on our staff. She was a teacher aide, absolute joy. She's gone back and she's now a judge in the Philippines. I started here with about 80 children in 2003, and this was where we met always. We fitted the whole school in there. And last year we reached 168, so we have on here. We have been affected by the earthquake. We've lost 20 children, and children are still leaving, families are relocating. The rumour, unfortunately, is that you don't get earthquakes in Whangarei, so that seems to be where several are going. So I started off by just saying to you that we are richly multicultural. We are Catholic, a very strong part of our whole program. Throughout our whole day, we are strongly Catholic, and hopefully you will see links to that in all the classrooms. We have 144 children at present, and 90 of them, in fact, speak 2 languages. We have 13 Samoan, 5 Tongan, 60 Filipino, several Chinese students, 17 who identify as Maori, and a few. When Aero came several years ago, they asked this boy how he knew it so well. And he said he spent a lot of time in Mrs. Lehman's office writing it out. So that's always a smile. So it's simply called the Sacred Heart Way, and every term we have a different value. You probably have something very similar in your school. And then underneath it, it simply says we smile, we speak pleasantly to each other, we make the right choices, we consider others' needs and feelings, we make eye contact, and we take pride in ourselves and our school. So there's one here for all of you, if you'd like to take it and use it as a bookmark. So I'll just leave those there and are claiming it. So I'd love it if you would like to take one of those for each of your schools and put it somewhere in your school. The way New Zealand will go. And I know some of you are probably in very similar schools at the moment. And that's the way we're heading. So they're there for you to take as little souvenirs. They are beautiful, our prayer services, and we have one generally every Friday happening, and families come along. The middle seniors also attend a Mass with the community during the week, every term. The other thing is we pride ourselves on being one big family. Addington, where we are here, has a history of being a place where migrants come. The first migrants probably were the Irish, and they came here and they were not really liked. There used to be signs in the shop windows, Irish Catholics need not apply when jobs were going. So that was the first sort of migrant group that came. Now it's the Filipino families that are here, and the families move on. We did have a spate where we had several families from various parts of Africa, and some of those have moved, even driving still here from Rolleston. So what seems to happen is as they move out and get houses and move, they seem to still come to the school, which we're really proud of, giving out heaps and heaps of credits, distinctions, and through into high distinctions in the Australian competition. And the Otago Maths, probably 15 excellence and 10 credits. So there is a real focus on learning, and the science fair was such that we actually got Science Alive in to do the judging in the end. It was so fantastic. So although we're Decile 3, we're not what some people would think is a Decile 3. So it actually pulls them. It's pulling. What we did, we introduced in 2004 or 5 maths interchange, and lots of you might do that in your school, but it takes a big commitment from the staff, at 9:15 in the morning, after prayers, we head on the mats and you will see children running all over the school. And the aim is that they are all being extended, absolutely pushed. So as a result of that, in year 8 you would now find children having to do correspondence secondary school maths because they've been being moved. So we have year 4s doing year 8 maths, year 6s doing year 8 maths. We pre-test, as you all do, and then we move. So they might move for geometry, but they might not move for numeracy. And they're moving throughout the school, so it's a really keen competition to achieve and to do well. And one student has just won a full scholarship to Cashmere High, $1,000. He said to me, "Brother, have a new bike." Get the scholarship. So, Minister of Immigration, I wrote to her, and we got her, and I wrote to John Key. I wrote to every member of Parliament I could think of or name and said, "What are you going to do? What are you going to do? These people have kept Christchurch going." And the rest home owners spoke, saying, "We'll have to close our rest homes." You know, there were probably 200 caregivers from the Philippines sitting there. And I spoke on behalf of what they were doing to the children. And it has been turned around. And they're now getting the 1 year, the 2 years. And if we can get the English up to speed, and we're working on that too with the parents, then we will have residence, and they will gain residency, and eventually citizenship. But of course, for them to get their medicals every year, they're paying up towards $2,000. And when you're on a minimum wage, you know, it's a fight. So I'm incredibly good at fighting. I do a lot of that to help these people because they have done so much for our city. And there aren't Kiwis that are qualified nurses or anaesthetists working as caregivers. We're not people to do that. So it's long and hard, and we are watched by the ministry. The red flag comes up when somebody's about to be asked to leave the country, and we're very good at working our way around that. And I'm kind of known now by immigration because I've spent a lot of time having heated debates with immigration. Because a certain day comes and the child has to go home, and you literally pack up their bag and the child leaves crying. You know, that's the sort of state. Although they have just recently changed it slightly, whereby they can see out the year. But of course, if their parents are not working, their work permits run out, then there's not a lot of money coming into those families. Is that what you say? They are the best long jumpers, high jumpers.
That's pretty cool.
Been remodelled or what?
Sorry?
Are these all remodelled?
No, this is brand new love.
You think it's cloudy? Cool. What else do you think it's like?
He whispered sweetly in my ear, won't you come along with me?
So what you need to do, I'll just stand on the other side of the desk so you can actually see.